How does chronic pancreatitis inflammation lead to pancreatic cancer? Imagine your pancreas as a busy factory that helps digest food and regulate blood sugar. When this factory faces long-term damage from inflammation, it can set off a chain reaction that might lead to cancer. Chronic pancreatitis is a condition where the pancreas stays inflamed for years, and studies show it can increase the risk of developing pancreatic cancer by 10 to 20 times compared to people without the condition. But how does this happen? The key is persistent inflammation. When the pancreas is constantly inflamed, it releases molecules called cytokines, which are like signals that tell cells to respond. These include tumor necrosis factor alpha, interleukin-6, interleukin-8, and interferon gamma. These cytokines cause ongoing tissue damage and scarring, known as fibrosis, which changes the normal structure of the pancreas. This environment becomes more welcoming to cancer cells because the tissue is constantly being damaged and repaired, increasing the chance of errors in the DNA of pancreatic cells. Another important factor involves pancreatic stellate cells. These are special cells in the pancreas that normally help with tissue repair. When inflammation persists, they become activated and turn into cells that produce scar tissue. This fibrosis not only stiffens the tissue but also releases growth factors and cytokines that support the growth and invasion of potential cancer cells. Think of it as remodeling a house with materials that inadvertently help unwanted guests, like cancer cells, to settle in and grow. Chronic inflammation also activates certain signaling pathways inside cells, such as nuclear factor kappa B. This pathway turns on genes that promote inflammation and cell survival, making it easier for cells to become cancerous. Other pathways like pi 3 degrees Kelvin and Hippo, which regulate cell growth and survival, can also become dysregulated during chronic inflammation, further pushing cells toward a cancerous state. Repeated injury from ongoing inflammation causes oxidative stress, which damages DNA. When DNA is damaged, mutations can occur in important genes that control cell growth and death. For example, mutations in tumor suppressor genes like p53 and p16 or oncogenes like CRAS are common in pancreatic cancer. These genetic changes can cause normal cells to turn into cancer cells over time. Finally, the fibrosis and tissue remodeling that happen in chronic pancreatitis create a stiff, abnormal environment. This altered tissue supports cancer cell survival and invasion, making it harder for the body to fight back against cancer development. In summary, long-term inflammation in the pancreas triggers a series of biological changes. It activates immune signals, supports scar tissue formation, causes genetic mutations, and creates a tissue environment that favors cancer growth. Understanding these processes emphasizes why managing chronic pancreatitis is important to reduce inflammation and fibrosis, potentially lowering the risk of pancreatic cancer. Researchers are also exploring ways to target these pathways to prevent or treat cancer in people with chronic pancreatitis. If you have concerns about pancreatitis or your risk factors, it's always best to talk with a healthcare professional for personalized advice.